The electoral law without electronic transmission of results, invitation to anarchy, says Naaba, Utomi, and others. A former Speaker of the House of Representatives, retired Honorable Gali Umar Naaba, and economist Professor Pat Utomi have alerted Nigerians of conspiracy by the ruling powers to perfect the rigging of the 2023 general election through the imposition of an unpopular electoral act. Well, in my previous article, I've already said it that removing the electoral act is an act of rigging. So they want to rig the election, and it has been said that the two regions of the country, which is the northern region and the southern region, has produced presidency even twice during the time of Obasanjo, Yaradua, Goodluck, and now Buhari. So power should also shift to the south, but the northern agenda wouldn't want them, to emerge the presidency. This, according to Buhari, what he said, previously he said he might, not win the election or he might be out of government, but he will still hold on to power. Well, according to the duo, they expressed concerns that the nation's democracy will be exposed to unprecedented danger should Nigerians fold their arms to allow the National Assembly to pass the toxic document into law. Speaking under the umbrella of the National Consultative Front (NCF) and the leaders of conscience, which they co-chaired retired Honorable Naaba and Professor Utomi, therefore called on all well-meaning Nigerians to come out in mass to challenge this unacceptable electoral act to be imposed by the National Assembly. Speaking via a statement issued on Monday in Abuja, the NCF fronted vehemently opposed the proposed document while calling on the National Assembly to make public the document before passing it into law. According to them, NCF front is compelled to address the nation again on the next and new plot of the ruling powers in Nigeria to entrench the rigging of Nigeria's democracy and democratic system through the imposition of an unpopular electoral act ahead of the 2023 elections. Well, as a concerned pan-Nigerian platform, the NCF had decided to undertake broad mobilization and consultations with national stakeholders and leaders of thought, as it has become incumbent on the front as the emergent political thought force in the country, to provide the required leadership for the exploited masses of Nigerians appropriately in preventing the electoral sham to be passed by and for the conduct of the 2023 elections. For the avoidance of doubt, the said document to be passed as the new electoral law of the country does not embrace key concerns and yearning of Nigerians, which includes electronic accreditation using the card reader, electronic counting of votes, electronic transmission of results, electronic collation of results. So what this administration is even planning to do, they want to rig the election through the analog result so that they could use biro and shift or change, figures. That was the plan of President Muhammadu Buhari. So everybody now is seeing, both the northern people, the elites in the northern people, especially the Hausas, even not the Fulani, because the Fulani has agenda on their own part, because they believe they are, the owner of Nigeria. They own Nigeria, and that's why the herdsmen, the bandit, and some other kidnappers entity which lives from Boko Haram believes that the country belongs to them, because the Niger Delta have been given amnesty. They believe also amnesty should be given to them, which is unjustifiable, because when you say or talk of amnesty, that means there is provision or there is something government is gaining from that community, which I can say vividly that what the government is gaining, or the Nigerian government itself is gaining, because it's the oil that the Bayelsa and the Niger Delta has in diaspora, or whichever way you want to put it. That is why they sought for amnesty, and Yaradua gave them the amnesty. But unfortunately, Yaradua died in his own tenure. That's why Goodluck continued his tenure, and in the second term, or in the next election, President Goodluck won. And the agenda of the northern people believes that they own Nigeria and they are not ready or yet to leave power. And that is why they are trying all their possible best to make sure that Nigeria goes into jeopardy. And Buhari and the herdsmen and the Fulani, they have an agenda. If not that the southern governors had banned open grazing, and everybody now is looking up to God, but basically physically, and trying to eradicate the issue of insurgency in the south. The northern people had already confiscated themselves into doubt and believe that all the violence committed by these so-called militias and bandits, they can accept it just because of their agenda. Now the Fulani has taken over the northern part of the country. They have no say, so they want to try that in the southern part, which is avoided by the secessionists from Sunday Igboho to Nnamdi Kanu. For the abundance of doubt, the said document to be passed as a new electoral law of the country does not embrace key concerns and yearnings of Nigerians, which includes electronic accreditation using the card reader, electronic counting of votes, electronic transmission of results, electronic collation of results. These are provisions that Nigerians believe will help overcome and reduce electoral malpractices drastically, while also taking care of electoral violence and intimidation during elections, to the extent of enhancing the credibility and integrity of our electoral system while boosting public confidence in our elections. The proposed document to be passed into law by the ruling political powers is regarded by majority of Nigeria's political stakeholders as heavily riddled with half measures and loopholes at a time when political office holders nomadically move from one political party to another and still maintain their seat. This new imposition is totally unacceptable to us, as it is targeted at rigging the 2023 election, which would not really hold if we don't stand up and to put Nigerian democracy in danger. Therefore, we wish to call on all well-meaning Nigerians to come out en masse to challenge this unacceptable electoral act to be imposed by the National Assembly. We wish state that we are vehemently opposed to this proposed document, and therefore will rather implore the National Assembly to make public notice before passing it into law, the documents that it intends to pass into law, so that every Nigerian, or least majority of Nigerians, will agree to that document that says it represents the interest of Nigeria. As it is, the president or the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration does not have the interest of the Nigerians at heart, but he only has the interest of the Fulani people at heart. That's why if they misbehave, nobody cautions them. Well, finally, we wish to appeal to all Nigerians to remain calm and prayerful in the interest of the peace, harmony and stability of our dear country, as the ongoing consultations among leaders of conscience across the 6 geopolitical zones are expected to yield a formidable intervention.